Welcome here to TNC TV official, from where you can get knowledge of English. Have you ever asked yourself why I don't speak English fluently? I'm telling you, here to TNC TV official, we try to make sure that all of the followers are going to understand more about English lessons. FDI is that you have attended different classes. You studied primary, secondary, university, until now you are still having the challenges of communicating with the foreigners. I'm telling you, here to TNC TV official, we try to make sure that all of the lessons are clear and understood. I have made more researches. I have seen that when you want to know English, you have first of all to master the basic skills. I think that those basic skills are in 10 lessons. 10 lessons, it means nouns, pronouns, verbs, adverbs, adjectives, prepositions, conjunctions, phrase words, and interjections. When you master these 10 lessons, we have seen that you speak English fluently without any problem. You meet English natives, you meet Americans, you meet British, you speak English, you listen, and you communicate without any problem. FDI is that you have attended different classes and you are still having the challenges. You try to do this. You make sure that if you're asked such questions, you can reply without adapting. It means when I say, please tell me more about the nouns, you are ready to describe the nouns you know in English. You are ready to spell the nouns you know in English. Nouns of people, animals, things, places, times, ideas. You see, in English, when you try to master these 6 kinds of nouns, it means that you have a full package of vocabulary. Most of the people, they have a vocabulary, but the vocabulary that they have are in curfew. It means that they don't know how they can cross them. When you say, I know more about the names of people, more names about the animals, more names about the things, more names about the places, more names about the times, more names about the ideas. By here means that all of the vocabulary, you are going to understand them, you are going to master them, and within the shortest time you get standby to communicate with the foreigners without any break. Friends, after knowing more about the nouns, you have to master 80 kinds of pronouns, like I'm going to spell them immediately. It means personal pronouns, me, I, you, him, he, her, she, it, us, we, you, them, they. You have to know possessive pronouns. It means mine, yours, his, hers, its, ours, yours, theirs. You have to know demonstrative pronouns. It means this one, that one, these ones, those ones. You have to know the use of these demonstrative pronouns. You have to know relative pronouns. Relative pronouns are very important to know, and how to use them in the sentences. It means who, whom, what, which, where, when, whose, how, and why. These are relative pronouns when they are placed in the middle of the sentences. For instance, I can say, you can tell me who teaches you. You can tell me whom you study with. You can tell me where you study English. You can tell me why you study English. You can tell me whose car is this. You can tell me how you see this country. You see, those words, those relative pronouns are placed in the middle of the sentences. When they are placed in the middle of the sentences, are called relative pronouns. When they are placed at the head of the sentences, they are going to be called interrogative pronouns. For instance, I can say, who teaches you? What do you study? Which is your compound? How you study English? Whose car is this? When you study English, those words I have spelled telling you that are relative pronouns when are placed at the head of the sentence. It means that they can start the sentence or they can end the sentences. They are going to be called interrogative pronouns. After interrogative pronouns, you have to master indefinite pronouns. It means all, some, other, every, each, whoever, whatever, whichever, whenever, however. Those words, when you know how to use them, you make sure that you don't have any problem about the indefinite pronouns. For instance, I can say chairs, I need all. The books, I need others. Water, I like some. I like some, okay? I like some. I don't like any, okay? By here, I have written the book Get Knowledge of English. When you read it, you get knowledge of more explanations. It means that you give order of the book Get Knowledge of English. I'm going to send it. The book is going to reach you by email, by WhatsApp. When you have the book Get Knowledge of English, all of these lessons I'm sparing here, you understand easily. You read, you understand, and you WhatsApp me, you mail me, and you continue to clear all the lessons. Friends, after indefinite pronouns, you have to know more about the reflexive pronouns, where you have to know the use of myself, yourself, himself, herself, itself, ourselves, yourselves, themselves. These words, it's not the first time you are hearing them, but you have to know how to use them in the sentences. Friends, after reciprocal pronouns, after reflexive pronouns, you are going to learn more about the reciprocal pronouns. There are not many. We have each other and one another. How to use each other, how to use one another. If you have the book Get Knowledge of English, you open it, you are going to read more about reciprocal pronouns. It means that lesson number 1, we have seen that is noun, pronouns, verb. Lesson number 3 is going to be verbs. After knowing, when you know verbs, what did you study in verbs? You have to know auxiliary verbs. Auxiliary verbs, it's to be, to have, to do only, you can find in English. And the modal verbs, it means can, must, may, shall, will. Those are modal verbs. When you know modal verbs, you're going to learn full verbs. Full verbs are so many, but modal verbs are 5. Can, must, may, shall, will. And auxiliary verbs are only to be, to have, to do. You have to know more about the verbs to be able to construct the sentences. You cannot construct the sentences if you don't know more about the verbs. Here, when you are learning the verbs, you have to know 12 tenses. And 12 tenses means what? It means simple past, past continuous, past perfect, past perfect continuous. Simple present, present continuous, present perfect continuous. Simple future, future continuous, future perfect continuous. By here you see a simple past is like a past tense. There are some books in which you are going to find past tense is a simple past. They are the same. Simple present is like a past tense, present tense, sorry. By here, I think that there is no confusion. There are some books, some writers, they have written simple past or past tense, simple present or present tense. It's the same. Don't get confused. So here, when you are learning the verbs, when you know more about the 12 tenses, you are going to study what you call 6 modes. Indicative mode, imperative mode, subjunctive mode, conditional mode, participle mode, infinitive mode. Modes should be 6 ones. When you learn these 6 modes, 6 types of modes, you can find in English language. I'm serious. I'm telling you seriously. You can speak English freely. You can communicate with the foreigners without any problem. There is no need to cross the borders of a country saying that you go to United States to learn English, because everywhere you are, you can learn English and you know it and you speak it freely. So after verbs, you are going to learn what? You are going to learn Adverbs. Adverbs in English, we are going to find 7 types. Adverbs of manner, adverbs of frequency, adverbs of quality, adverbs of degree, adverbs of quantity, adverbs of place, adverbs of times. You see, there are 7. When you know these for sure, you speak English freely. After this, you are going to learn 6 kinds of what? 6 kinds of adjectives. Those adjectives should be 6 types. You have to know qualificative adjectives, possessive adjectives, demonstrative adjectives, interrogative adjectives, and indefinite adjectives, and numeral adjectives. By here, I'm telling you, you try, you're gonna see that English within only 1 month, you can be speaking. Every day is that you don't speak freely. It means you have challenges. You have challenges, you don't understand those 10 lessons. And when you don't understand those 10 lessons, it will be really a challenge for you. You cannot communicate with the foreigners freely. I told you that in this year 2024, it's the year in which everybody is going to decide to follow the lessons of English here to NCTV Official. I'm telling you, no need to go to school back. No need to go back to school. There is no need for sure. I'm telling you, you can know it, you can speak it, you can practice it without any problem. Here to NCTV Official, because of the book Get Knowledge of English I have prepared, I have created, I have written, while I was making researches about how you can learn English and you know it, you speak it like American, like a British, like English native. I have seen that it's only a matter of knowing only 10 lessons. When you know these 10 lessons, I'm telling you, you don't have any challenge. So after adjectives, you are going to learn, of course, articles. Articles, you have a definite articles and indefinite articles. After this, you are going to learn conjunctions. Conjunctions, you have to know more about conjunctions. It is very important to know the words that can join other words, such as with, and, but, or, comma, and others. Okay? Here, you have to know more about conjunctions. After conjunctions, you have to learn more about prepositions. Prepositions, those words that can introduce the locations, you have to know them. It is very important to know them. Prepositions. After prepositions, you know more about phrasal words. Phrasal words, you have to know them. As long as well as, to get up, to stand up, to sit down, to take off, okay, and so on. Okay, those words, you have to know them. After, it is a matter of knowing interjections. Importance of knowing 10 lessons. Number 1, when you communicate freely. Because of knowing the use of those words, it means that it is going to be very simple for you to construct the sentences. And when you can construct the sentences without any problem, to create the stories is going to be very simple for you. And when you meet the foreigners, because of confidences you have from knowing those 10 lessons, I'm telling you, every question you are going to be asked, you are going to answer it without any problem. You can also give order of the book of Get Knowledge of book that I have written. The book that I have written is called the Get Knowledge of English. When you have the book, for sure, all of these words, these types of words you can find in that book, I have tried to clear them. I continue to follow you everywhere you are. When you have the book, I can also teach you online. I can support you to understand different lessons online. There is no need to go to check other platforms while I'm here, because every word you ask me, every expressions on which you have confusion, I try to clear it, and you get really able to communicate with the foreigners freely. I told you that the importance of English is unique, is to communicate with the foreigners. If there is that, you don't communicate with the foreigners. If there is that, to apply the job where they practice English, where they use English, you fear. I'm telling you, don't say that you know English. I want to make sure that all of the people who are going to decide to follow the lessons of English here to TNC TV official, really they get it free. You watch the videos. After watching the videos, you try to ask the questions. You leave a comment. You can leave a comment. When you leave a comment, you demonstrate me, you show me the strategies that I can apply to make sure that all of the followers are going to get satisfied of the lessons that are being delivered. Friends, briefly, I will continue to create for you different videos that are going to support you to be fluent in English. If there is that you want to speak English, you WhatsApp me, you mail me. There is no need to go to United States or you go to UK to learn English. Everywhere you are, I can follow you. Online classes are really enough. Thank you so much. Let me stop my video over here. Tomorrow I will continue to create another video that will put in mode of speaking English. Thank you. Bye-bye.